T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Liming, and Todd Griffin.
Welcome to episode 64 of the Play It By Ear podcast.
There we are.
Yes, there we are. If we were there, there we are. Whatever you want to say, I don't know. Anyway, sign in if you're in the audience. As always, we have Howard, Hall of Famer Allison. Yes. We have other people that have not yet signed in. Please do. We want to recognize you, or you may lurk in the shadows, I guess, if you like. Either or is fine with us. So, again, episode 64 of the Play It By Ear podcast. It is Independence Day week. Independence Day here on Sunday. That is kind of our, I don't know if you call it a straight-up theme. It's kind of a...
A loose conglomerate of themage.
Yeah, there you go. Loose conglomerate thing. Thank you very much. Yes, Miss Wilson, let the show begin, indeed. But you will see some Independence Day / Americana woven throughout this show. And again, it's in honor of our nation's birthday, which is actually not our nation's birthday. I mean, people didn't sign the document on July 4th. That's the misnomer.
Two
actually
people
all. Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
2 people.
John Hancock and some other dude.
The what was his name? Daggone it. The secretary of the Congress. And again, yeah, his name flew right out of my ear. Those are the two that signed on the 4th, and then the others signed in August. Actually, they kind of trickled down through and signed as they went along.
I believe John Adams wanted to celebrate it on the 2nd of July.
He did indeed.
He was overruled.
Which I'm sure he didn't like at all.
Yeah.
As obnoxious and disliked as he was. Anyway.
That's true.
Right? 1776, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure if you went through American history at Eastern High School with Mrs. Gurman, you have seen it. If you didn't, you need to see it.
Vote yes.
Vote yes. Vote for independency.
Proud job.
Congress should have its own privy.
Privy. I always liked that word,
way.
privy.
I did too.
We should bring that back.
It should be
Allison.
brought back.
Allison will be up north this weekend. Yes, welcome back to Ohio early, Allison. Savannah with us, also Hall of Famer. So welcome one, welcome all. Once again, this is episode 64 of the Play It By Ear podcast. Thank you very much, Miss Wilson. Sit down, John. Indeed. If you have not been here before, we all bring a topic to the table. We talk about it for 20-ish minutes, and then we move forward. We have not talked about these topics up until this point. So, it is organic, as we like to say. We are in order on the screen as we will present our topics, as always, or as most always. It pretty much has been always here. We have a game at the end, which I moderate, but that's why I'm at the end. So, Yes, Howard, it does have some flaws, but it's mostly good. I showed it to my government classes at Lynchburg, and I told them, you will never forget this, because they break out into song. You'll hate it, but you'll never forget it. And it's true enough historically that it's okay.
True story about this. There is a friend of ours, one of my coworkers, was going to Connecticut. It's like, yeah, we're going to spend the weekend in Connecticut. I start going, in Connecticut! And they looked at me like I was high. It's like, wait a minute, long story. Let me jump you into this. So, yeah.
I've never seen it.
What?
Never seen it.
Wow!
We need to stage probably what we should have done tonight. We should have just done a showing of 1776.
Yeah.
We can do a watch along.
We'll do that next week.
Oh, Jess, the Hall of Famers are in the room tonight.
How you doing,
Jess
Jess?
with us.
Good to see our Hall of Famers in our long times.
Yes.
It's great.
All right, so again, we'll talk 20-ish minutes on our topic. We do want to invite you first. Visit our website, www.playbyyearpodcast.com, and we will refer to it as we go throughout the episode here. We'll tell you about different things that you'll find on the website, but it is there for your enjoyment. Brady Liming will go first. Todd will be in the middle slot, and I will round us out tonight with our game. So, Brady, you're up.
All right. So, going with our Americana. This is a humorous take on Americana. And I'm borrowing a little bit from the article, but loosely based. It's things that Americans do that freak foreigners out in a funny way. So when people come, it definitely makes us American. It's things about us that are uniquely American. And you got to look at this through a funny lens, and it can be quite funny. So, now once again, it's kind of stereotypical, but hey, as I'm looking through this list, it's like, oh yeah, this is totally true. So, it's just funniness. Get ready to be dazzled with things that you might not even be aware that you do that are uniquely American, that freak people from other countries out just a little bit. And here we go, starting with number one.
It's quite an intro.
Strangers.
That was quite an intro, Brady.
I was trying to build it up. Was I selling it?
You were indeed.
Okay. So, smiling at strangers. That is something uniquely American. And it says that we're looking at a new... okay. I'm going to break this down. I'm not going to read. But I have said that Americans, we smile a lot at strangers. And I found out, especially to people that are visiting from Asia, or when Americans go to Asian countries, we have to be careful how we smile, because when we smile in America, it's a smile that means happiness. But I found out that in Asia, that there's particular countries, if I'm correct, I believe it is South Korea, that how you smile has a loaded meaning. Like, they will smile politely, but if you smile with teeth, that's flirtatious. So if you're giving that's a very common.
Well, hang on. That was beyond just smiling with teeth, Brady. With the head nod, the mouth open.
That was a little creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah,
I think you would even creep out an American with that.
I'm going to make that my point to do that at least once this week. I know.
Yeah, because what they hear when you're doing that is.
Hi. Hi.
That's what they hear.
Yeah. So,
That's what I hear.
Smiling with teeth. No, but legitimately, like, there's the smile, and it's not a standoffish thing. It's just, it's a uniquely American thing. So, I didn't realize that.
Do you think, because I could see that both ways, as in smiling is friendly, but also sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, I think you smile sometimes out of awkwardness and not wanting to talk.
The curt smile.
Yeah, like a nice smile and nod, and you're saying, just please don't say hello to me or don't talk to me. You know, you're hoping that will suffice, and you won't have to actually speak.
Yes.
So now the psychologist in me has just really been intrigued by your comment there, Todd. So I'm going to delve into this. So is that something you do to someone you know as you're walking by? You kind of give them a smile and a head nod, and you're thinking, I really don't want to be stopped and talked to right now. I just want to move along, but I want to acknowledge your presence here.
I think both. I think that, there may be times where you're in a hurry or you're just in a bad mood, and you will definitely give the please don't talk to me nod to someone that you know. But also I think just for strangers, is because if you're close enough to talk to them, but yet you don't want to talk to them, I think that can ward off any, I want to show that I'm friendly, but I want to also show that I don't really care to talk to you.
So I'll put myself on the psychiatrist's couch here. The smile and the head nod serves as now you guys can relate, and maybe some people who have not been in education, who have not dealt with thousands of people in a very close environment in a classroom setting. I mean, you teach people that you taught 20 years ago, and they've changed a little bit, and you look at them, you think, I think I know them, but I'm not sure I know them. So I'm going to give a smile and a head nod, and if a conversation ensues, I'll listen to the conversation, and maybe I'll be led to who I'm talking to.
Trigger a memory.
Right. So that's what the smile and head nod signifies for me, but I don't know.
I think one thing that we've tapped into here that we can all agree to is that the smile and the head nod are a tandem. They are a package deal. You typically
Indeed.
don't do one without the other.
Well, some people might. I mean, I don't. I think probably the three of us don't.
Well, I
Right.
think it's more likely that you do the head nod without the smile rather than the smile without a head nod. And sometimes the head nod without the smile is when you and the other person know something that maybe you don't want other people to know. Then you kind of
Point of order. And this has me really intrigued. This is going to go off the rails. How do you head nod?
right like that. That's too much. That's too
See,
animated.
I go the opposite. I head left. I'm like,
That's a
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a nod.
hey.
It depends on what you're talking about. The
Where
back
did
of
you
your
go?
head is dipping. Your chin is
elevated.
elevated. So which
You
direction
don't
is it?
lead with your chin. You can't lead with your chin on a nod.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
it.
Sup?
it's just the chin does not move forward. It just
You don't turn it
it-
gate down. You just
it elevates.
A nod with the chin shows it's pompous. It's like, like I don't know.
like you're
like-
an officer acknowledging an underling. Like,
No, like you're in high school and your girlfriend just broke up with her boyfriend to go with you, and he's walking down the hallway and you do the like that to him.
oh,
It's you don't. It's more of a. You see,
So showing your nostrils is considered to be a diss of sorts.
yeah.
take a
So
look at
which
these
direction, when you
here.
hear the word nod, are you thinking upward or downward? If there were an arrow, if this were a graphic of a nod, would you have the arrow going down or up?
When I think nod, I think down.
Down.
But I don't think I greet or acknowledge people by nodding. I think I lift. I'm more the Matthew McConaughey from Days of Confused. Like, hey, I'm not the I.
Okay,
know?
so here's another aspect of the head nod smile combo. I don't think females do it. I think that's a strictly male action.
That's interesting.
That is interesting, and I think you're correct.
I think so too.
Wow, my mind is blown.
Now, if we
The topic is
have
good.
we have some females in the audience here. Females, do you do the smile and the head nod acknowledgement?
And can I ask another question? If people
Yes.
could be honest with us, please show us your hand. Raise your hand if you caught yourself sitting there nodding and seeing how you nod, like we just were, like almost like looking in a mirror to see how you look. Were you, be honest and tell us if you were
everybody.
doing that.
No, I
Everybody
don't.
was doing that.
Oh, like just now?
Yeah, like when we were just talking. Like we were just
Oh.
talking. I bet a lot.
Like
of
I thought. Do you say I sit around and check out my
I'm
head
saying,
nod?
like right when we were just talking about, do
They're
you
in
nod
earbud land
upward?
is nodding. They're
Or-
they're
yeah.
practicing and analyzing their nod lift.
Yeah.
Okay, so the audience is chiming in. We've hit a nerve here. First of all, Gary with us. Welcome, Gary. we have a measurement, which we probably should put in the isms. Ish is roughly 2.5 times as in 20-ish minutes. So ish is approximately 2.5 times that, which probably tends to be true. All right. I don't know if it's on your list yet, Brady, but Ms. Wilson says one of the things here in the United States is our obsession with ice in our drinks. It's probably true.
Very American. Yeah.
Probably true.
Yeah.
So Treva says she's gotten a smile and head nod from me. Treva, I know you. I'm not saying I do that only to people I don't know, but that is exclusively for a person I may not know. Treva, I do know you. So.
That's like skipping the credits. Amongst friends, the head nod and the smile is like, yeah, I know how you are. Just like, I see you in the hallway, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's skipping the credits and going right to the, amongst along your way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Allison does do the smile and head nod and says it's a military thing, and she does it when she's acknowledging another soldier and I'm avoiding them saluting me.
Wow.
So you can shirk off the salute. That's what I was saying. You can shirk off the salute if you're a higher ranking officer. Is that allowed? I didn't even think that was allowed. I thought they had to.
I thought they had to wave or at least raise their hand and acknowledge something with their hand, like, yeah, that is as you were.
I have a question. Is shirk off an actual word? Is that a term, or did you just make it up?
No, shirk off is a word.
Shirking your duties.
Okay.
Shirking your duties, yes.
Okay.
I said shirk off.
I know what you said. I never really heard it used that way before.
So Treva also does the head nod smile combo, but adds
Gotta add
sup.
Sup.
But you can't say what's up. It has to be
That's
sup.
definitely a chin up. You don't go sup. You don't
What's up?
go. You might, if somebody says sup, you might say nothing. You might throw it down.
Like a marching band. Remember when we had to make the L to do the perfect right? That was the appropriate chin height for at attention. So you have to measure your head nod, like, okay, that's correct. Lilt and yaw.
Lilt.
Lilt and yaw. Itch and yaw.
You know what lilt
right.
makes me think of? Lilt makes me think of hair products. There was a hair product called Lilt.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Couple more comments here. Howard says, head tilt with a slightly raised eyebrows an acknowledgement of shared info, at least for me and my generational peeps. So you have a little secret, is what you say. Miss Wilson smiles and slightly nods. The whole mask thing made me nod more. That is a good point as well. When
But
you can't smile, you have to acknowledge somehow.
But did you guys catch yourselves like smiling under your mask and then you realize no one can tell your? Well, they can tell your if you're smiling big enough, your
You
eyes.
smile
will
with
show.
your eyes.
Yeah, but otherwise, there would be lots of times where I would be smiling, more with my students, like be smiling and then think, well, they can't see me
Where
smiling. So.
Smile with your eyes as with your mouth. You're making an epithet that you're glad they can't see because you're masked. Like that.
All right, Brady.
One more comment from Allison here. She says, the smile and the head nod is a way of letting them know I appreciate the gesture, but we're good. She does not need to be saluted. How very patrician of you, Allison. Yeah, you're a high-ranking officer. Sorry, Brady, we hijacked your topic.
Oh, no problem at all. This one's pretty quick. Rarely taking a vacation is a uniquely American thing. In most countries, they get weeks and even a month of vacation. It's a way to get out of work, get away from work, get away and truly vacay. But in America, we kind of see it as we're almost guilty. We feel guilty for taking a vacation.
I was going to say, because a lot of it has to do with, I don't like this term at all, but I'm going to use it. There's a lot of judgment in the workplace by other people when people take off. You're sometimes not even the boss.
Yeah.
I was going to use the word Karen. There's a lot of Karens in various workplaces. But what is the male Karen term?
I think it's a
What is
Chad.
Brad.
Brad, Chad?
A Brad.
Could
Brad
be Todd
and
for all I know.
That's dangerous.
But my point is, you're right, Brady. People are ashamed, but it's because it's.
Well, in the
I'm going to end up
stereotype
going
of
off
the
on this topic. I
American
get
work
frustrated with
ethic.
this topic.
Yeah.
I get
Well,
frustrated.
we'll
with If it were me, all incentives to like perfect attendance incentives would be banished. All that does is invite people to come to work sick and get other people sick.
That is true.
Miss Wilson
Okay.
says Kevin's. And Lauren, welcome, Lauren. Lauren says Brad. So maybe there's several male versions of
Yeah.
that. And Allison says that it's like there's never a good time to take a break or work in a vacation.
We Yanks know how to get things done. It's it's hardwired into our ethic a little bit. So, moving right along, uniquely American, drinking from red Solo cups. Solo
Red
cups are a
Solo
very
cup.
American thing, and even at
Yeah, you-
big festivals in Europe, they still go glassware.
Glassware.
A lot of like Oktoberfest, the disposable plastic cup is a very uniquely American thing, especially the red Solo cup with its hidden measurements. Like because like there's notches on the red Solo cup to let you
Right.
know what the shot is, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So
That seems
that's one
dangerous
of
to
our
have
things.
glassware at festivals, especially in Oktoberfest.
Most of our festivals are expressly
I've
no
seen
glass
Oktoberfest. That
areas.
can never go well. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's keep it. Here's a funny one: having boring currency. We're one of the few countries in the world that doesn't have multicolor. Like denominations are not denoted by color. Like we call it monopoly money, but like the ones would be
Yeah.
one color, fives and tens. So American money is uniquely boring. We're looked upon as having boring currency.
It has gotten much more
let's-
colorful in the past 20 years or so.
It has
Yeah,
much more colorful.
still kind of dull.
Having-
But
Yeah, we do. Yeah, and we're one of the like the $1, the one I'm going to call it the 1 unit, $1 coin was a major failure in America. They tried it
yeah.
with Susan B. Anthony and Sacagawea, and nobody wants, you know, a pocket full of ones weighing you down.
Well,
knows?
Americans
Yeah.
don't like coinage.
We do not. 24-hour restaurants.
Hmm.
Uniquely American, born in America. They say it is very difficult, and I'm going to speak of ignorance here because I haven't done European or Asian traveling, but they say it is very difficult for Americans to find that that White Castle or Waffle House abroad. So if anybody has done some foreign tourism, are there 24-hour restaurants now, or is that something that we are exporting?
it looks like that if it's an American business, you know, they say a White Castle. It looks like if someone if they were to put a White Castle in you know, another country, it looks like they would adopt the 24-hour.
Yeah, like at Denny's in Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
you know, would it be
Well-
24 hours?
But it depends on the culture, though. I mean,
True.
we Americans are looked down upon for hijacking culture and things. I mean, if we go into another country and impose ourselves, I mean, that may be not seen to be good for business, let's just say.
Yeah,
I instantly,
Okay.
for some reason, started thinking about Perkins. Because I just talked to someone the other day about this, how much I miss Perkins there in Eastgate. Are there any Perkins anywhere anymore?
yeah,
I've seen them, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I would say it was not. I think it was regional, kind of like Frisch's. There was more around this area, but there was more than one of them. But it wasn't like nationwide. Like, well, for instance, you won't find a Denny's around here. And I think isn't that mostly out west?
Oh, there are Denny's around
yeah,
There's Denny's in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
yeah. There's a Denny's in Jeffersonville. There used to be a Denny's in Beachmont.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Uniquely American, carding people who are obviously not 21.
You
know,
mean under or over?
No, like
Over.
if they are us, I still get carded, you still get carded, and it makes my day if I go to Applebee's and have an adult beverage. Or, you know, especially chain
Or-
restaurant,
Cracker Barrel.
or a Cracker Barrel. You know,
All right.
I do not have enough blue tint to in the hair.
Only in Allison's country in Alabama.
Yes. But I thought that, and they say that foreigners quickly learn it's wise to keep some ID. That in the United States, you're well into your 50s. That there's a good chance you're going to be ID'd, and that's policy, and we're seen as very by the book. So, having cheerleaders at sporting events, uniquely American. Like
The Boston Celtics didn't.
correct. Well, I mean,
Red Auerbach wasn't going to allow that.
Yes. You don't go to a Manchester United game and there's never been cheerleaders. You don't, you know, I don't know, in Indonesia and their badminton nationals, which is a big deal, no cheerleaders. So that is a uniquely American thing. Cheerleaders at sporting events. Getting coffee to go. Now this surprised me. This is my, what do you call it, cultural unawareness, but this might be surprising in these days at Starbucks. But Americans, like every place else in the world, coffee is meant to be sat and enjoyed over conversation. It is not the fuel for the go engine.
But couldn't that tie into the earlier comment about the not taking vacation, not taking hours off, and things like that? I mean, Americans are feel pressured to take their coffee into work with them.
Yes, yeah, and I believe that's totally it. That's totally it. You know, that was fast. In this one, I'll go quickly. I'll be mindful of the 20 minutes, but leaving the AC running. I challenge somebody from another country, if they are in Ohio today, in my area, I challenge you not to leave the AC running because the heat index got over 100 today.
Well, but here's the thing, though. I grew up with no air conditioning, and I mean, there were hot days, and I survived, and I really didn't miss what I didn't have, I guess. So maybe that's a case of, you know, we having things here in the United States, maybe other countries don't depend on like we do. So,
yeah, I mean, I can remember a time not having air conditioning, but I mean, like right now, giving it up would be
oh yeah,
very difficult.
Yeah. And I think I'll leave you with this one. This would be a good one to stop on. Dining with over-attentive servers. Uniquely American. The server that always that's hustling for that tip, that is always checking in, filling your water, making sure everything's fine. They did that especially to European travelers. That's a real annoyance when they dine in America, is the overly attentive server.
I wonder if that has go ahead, Eric.
Well, but tipping is kind of an American phenomenon as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
know.
When we went to Mexico a few years back to the resort, and I was doing research on all-inclusive resorts and about tipping and things like that, and that's something that I learned. There are other countries that don't tip, and it's considered an insult, you know, in some places to tip, and so I don't know that it's only, you know, it's American, but it's definitely something that is not recognized everywhere.
I have your answer. Big tipping is uniquely American. What it says, that in the United States, in most European countries, service fees are included in the price of the meal, and they usually don't go above 8 to 12%. But in America, you're expected to tip upwards to 20%, or you get a dirty look from your server. Now, I'm gonna open up a can of worms here. I think since pandemic, tipping has gotten really excessive.
Well,
like for instance, takeout. You were never
yeah,
you never tip with takeout.
I agree. I am a notoriously large tipper. I always have been. I typically tip more than 20%, usually because of math. I start at 20%, and then whatever I can round up and, you know, get it to the even dollar. But one thing I've noticed is in, you know, like a sit down type restaurant where it used to be like at the bottom of your receipt, and it said like 12, 15, 20, or 15, 18, 20 percentages, which I always appreciated them doing the math there for me. Now it starts at like 18, and it'll go like 18, 20, 22, or 25 or something. It goes over 20, and that has just been since COVID.
Yeah.
For those lazy math people, I can do my math. Thank you.
Oh, I could do my math. I just prefer to round it up to an even dollar amount when I'm writing it.
Well, you're not supposed to tip on the tax either.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes those suggestions on the bottom of the bill add in the tax.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting, like I said, when we were reviewing or researching, because, you go to those resorts and they say everything's included. Well, my opinion is you should still tip, and I know the workers appreciate the tips. But there were some arguments, this message or this Facebook group that I belong to for the resort we visited. There were people in there from European countries and things, and they talked about how, in their country, they still tip, but in their country tipping isn't accepted, or it isn't. And the way I took it was, it isn't even accepted by. It's not that people don't tip; it's not even accepted by the workers, or they're not. They don't want to accept it or something. I don't know.
Can I leave you with one more funny one before we move on?
No,
Sorry, this hit my funny bone, and I'll leave you with this, I promise. Advertisements for legal services and prescription drugs is uniquely American. Really? They said that people that visit from other countries, and it's like, so you want to go out, but you have explosive diarrhea? Get blah, 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 blah. If you and then it shows these people, and they're all wearing white outfits now, I guess, because that they can wear the white outfits because they don't have explosive diarrhea anymore. So if you'll notice anything involving like ulcerative colitis, they're always wearing white. And but anyway, there's a yeah.
You know where that started?
I don't know.
In the round gesture. You remember those commercials? The guy would turn green and in the
yeah. I still think the most effective, on point, over the counter, it just conveyed the urgency. Was this guy was getting it? He had it was a Pepto-Bismol commercial, I believe, and he was at a stadium full of people. And it was halftime, and he was standing up, and he had his hand on his stomach, which is the international symbol for "I gotta go right now." And he stands up, and then everybody, and there's like a 2-mile line to the bathroom, and you felt that gentleman's pain at that moment, and like that was an effective sales pitch for that product.
Do you know what you do when you see that gentleman? You're across the aisle. You nod. you don't
want to lift your head. That might take too much muscle control.
That is the intestinal distress. I got you, buddy. I understand.
That was another round of commercials. You remember those? Gotta go right now.
or where it kind of looked like the Macarena. It's like heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea.
Yeah.
And they would
stomach diarrhea.
That was a Pepto-Bismol commercial, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was a whole dance. And I was cracking up because I almost went on what? I taught junior high.
We should go out to we should go out sometime dancing, and something we often do. We just go out dancing. We should go out dancing though, and just do that dance to every song that comes on.
Or maybe we should come to one of your band shows and do that dance.
There you go. As long as you yell, "Play some Skinner" while you're doing it.
Play some Leonard Skinner, please.
Yeah, I can't believe that's never been done. People could. I am so bad at dances, and especially those organized, everybody knows the same move dance, that they could be doing, the whole floor could be doing the Pepto-Bismol dance, and I wouldn't even know it.
I will not have a song telling me what to do. I refuse.
Get up, get busy.
Get up, yes. I will not follow orders for the song. Refuse. That's a rule of mine.
Yeah, no hokey pokey for Eric.
Exactly.
I ain't putting shit in.
I'm not putting anything in the circle.
I will put what I want in when I say put it in.
Purposely put the wrong thing in.
I will not put my left elbow in. I will put my right foot in. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll put my spleen in. How's that?
Diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder. He refused to do that. He would not turn himself around.
Tell me what it's all about. I'll tell you what it's all about.
I'll tell you what it's all about when I feel like it.
What if the hokey pokey is what it's all about?
Boy, that would be something.
That's deep. Can you imagine you find that shaman up in Nepal, up on the mountaintop? It's like, Master Guru, what is the secret of life? The hokey pokey, that's what it's all about. And he gives you the nod. He gives you the head nod.
Gives you the nod.
No.
The meaning of life.
Yes.
All right, I got several comments, most of all from our world traveler Allison. Coffee in a lot of countries is an opportunity to sit down and talk with or meet with someone. And kind of like here as well. I mean, we talk about having a cup of coffee.
Well, that's one of the things I look forward to as an old gentleman is to sit at McDonald's with 4 or 5 other old gentlemen and talk every morning.
And it's always McDonald's. Always.
Always McDonald's. And suspenders are involved.
Well, because a lot of fast food places aren't known for their coffee. You know, like, not as well as McDonald's has always been. So I think that's probably why it's always been a McDonald's, you know. But you don't ever see them in Taco Bell or Burger King or Wendy's
Or Starbucks.
or Starbucks. Yeah.
Oh, I
Or
would
Dunkin'
go with-
Donuts.
I would not go with suspenders to Starbucks. I would not feel hip enough.
All right, Allison also says in Germany it was rare to have air conditioning. Their houses were built much differently, but it didn't used to be as hot. And as far as the servers go in Europe, you're lucky if you can get one to acknowledge you. So it's the whole different problem. If you need some service, they're not attentive to you. Ms. Wilson, remember not having AC in the old high school building in the afternoon? It was hard to even function, let alone teach and learn. And we would sometimes get early dismissals.
And mind you, we were not allowed to wear shorts in high school. Like
One day.
were forbidden.
One
One
day.
day in 4 years, and the world
Yes.
stopped that day.
Yeah, it's like schools
Mr.
say
Miller's
now,
all straightened in one.
you can wear shorts when it's minus 30 if you want. Just
Yeah.
whatever. Allison also says in several European countries the tip is included in the price. I think Todd mentioned that being a service fee, or Brady, was that you? One of you did mention that.
I'm not a big fan of when they say, like, you know, parties of whatever 6 or more will.
It's usually 8.
Yeah, it is usually 8.
gratuity.
Yeah.
Again, that's hokey pokey-ish.
Well,
Don't
not
tell
only that,
me. Don't
but
tell me.
And I don't say this to brag, but they're typically getting less tip that way.
That's
I
true.
mean, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
Yeah. Anyway.
Or are there more cheap asses in the world than there are
Well, yeah.
good tippers?
I mean, I know people that will tip $1 no matter how much they, you know, be it Jeff Ruby's and just pay $300 for the meal and they'll tip $1. But
On purpose or just
Yes.
out of unawareness?
I think you'd have to be pretty daggone clueless if you give $1 at the
Yeah.
$300 meal,
I may be exaggerating a little bit, but I do know some pretty.
like a $5 bill or something.
Easy to. Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Wilson also gives us another commercial. I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Yep, that's another intestinal distress commercial. And I do have a comment on the, you talked about legal services on commercials. And actually that is a relatively recent phenomenon as well, which I'm sure you all are aware. But what you may not be aware of is that attorneys could be disbarred for advertising at some point. That's why it's relatively recent, because the bar forbade it.
Really?
Yeah. And if you advertised, you are considered to be a ambulance chaser sort.
So you were only
Shyster.
supposed to gather
Yes.
business word of mouth.
Correct. Or through the bar association,
Okay.
they would give you, some kind of clue you in on what attorneys practice, what area of law, but you didn't advertise. So
No Better Call Saul.
yeah, none of that. All right, and that show may actually kind of give a nod to that, because I think when Saul started advertising in the show, he was considered to be, like you said, a
A
shyster.
shyster.
Yeah.
Bad
All
comb
right,
over Saul.
Yeah. All right, Brady, good topic. Again, on the American theme here on Independence Day week on
American
Played by Ear
theme.
podcast. Theme. All right.
American theme. Limousines, if you will. hard time.
All right. We want to invite you again to our website and look at our membership page. Memberships support our work on the podcast. For more information, go to playitbyyourpodcast.com/support. And from there, you would have a link to what is called Buy Me a Coffee. And Buy Me a Coffee is our crowdsourcing platform. And
You don't have to do it to go.
yeah, indeed. I always forget about sharing the website here so people can see it. All right, so if you look at the Play by Your Podcast website, and there is a membership support right there in the middle of the menu. And if you click on that, again, if you see the top of the page there, you see our audio and video feeds as well as our calendar, which I have been neglecting to.
Can we take a minute and tip our hat to Brady for that this week's poster, or for the last episode's poster? Can you put that up there again?
Yeah. That was a masterpiece.
That was, and
Thank you very
I
much.
like the comment. I am proud from where I come from, but I like the comment that I believe it was Johnny put on there. What in the Brown County is going on in this case?
Indeed. And I told Brady I appreciated him putting me on the skinny guy.
Oh, shoot.
I think that's your best yet, Brady. Or one of them.
Thank you.
Yes.
It was totally accidental.
Hang on a minute. I'd forgotten about the cat. What is the cat down there?
What?
The second row down.
Second
here?
Was that,
No.
was that the Sparkle Tush?
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I see.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Anywho,
The Anus cover.
all right, there's our membership page, and you see our Hall of Famers there. Allison, which we've showed several of her comments. Christy Rocky, Joe Rocky, Chuck Griffin, Savannah Brown, and Jessica Longacre. Savannah and Jessica also here in the room with us, or they were. I don't know if they're still here or not. But go to our page, click on the Buy Me a Coffee link there, and you can look into our memberships.
Thank you, Hall of Famers.
Yes, very much. All right, Todd, in the middle segment
In the
of
midst.
episode 64. Take it away.
Mine is just going to segue right off of what Brady was talking about. I tend to have a lot of topics over either food or kind of words and playing with words and idioms and all kinds of things like that. So my topic tonight is, I have a list, and again, I won't read it verbatim, but I'll use it to guide our conversation. 30 American sayings that leave foreigners totally puzzled. So again, this kind of just goes right into what Brady was talking about, but focusing on some of our language. And right off the bat, we have a classic piece of cake. And it talks about, it's the person who is talking here talks about how they were German born, and when they first came to the USA, they heard everyone saying it was a piece of cake, and for the longest time, they always wondered where the cake was. And I thought that is about as because you think about it, if you're a young, German born, and you immigrate and you migrate to the United States, and you hear about a piece of cake, you're probably thinking, hey, I keep hearing about this cake, yet I see no cake.
Is it German chocolate?
Reminds me of a great quote from history. Brady, just eat your damn cake.
Who said that?
Todd Griffin said that.
Oh, that's right. I did say that. Eric, I got to stop for a second. Every once in a while, I see a face in the screen behind you, and it freaks me out.
I
Do you see a
was
face?
sitting
A
here thinking the
face?
same thing.
It
It looks like
it's the lamp.
Yeah, I
It's
see that now, but do you see where your fingers are? Those are the eyes, where you just had your and
Yeah.
there's nose
That's the
comes
eyes,
down,
yeah.
and then there's its mouth that kind of has a mustache goatee type.
It's either Matt Boy from Weekly World News or Edgar Allan Poe. It could go either way.
Yeah, it does have some Poe
Poe-esque.
look to it. All right. Next up, and I never really thought of this, but scoot over. Apparently that is something that confuses someone.
That just hit my funny bone. I have never even given that a second thought.
Well, and I think that's what's interesting about some of the sayings in this list is we don't really think about how they could be They could sound off to other people, but this is another person who was not born in the United States, and they came over here, and their first day of school, a girl asked them to scoot over, and they were just lost.
So were they looking for a scooter? And color me ignorant here. I don't understand what could be confused by that.
Like a dog with worms, like were they asking you to drag your rectum on the carpet? Or
Well, you're dragging your rectum when you're scooting over, right?
Not for the same reason dogs are.
Well, no, but I mean, is that what they're assuming there? No pun intended.
All right.
Oh, man.
I don't really know, Eric. I think maybe they just have, it's the word scoot, maybe. Maybe it's not a word that is readily known. Number 3, put lipstick on a pig. Now, I could definitely see how that would be very, especially if and it talks about how this is something in politics, and about how a lot of people in other countries don't quite understand our politicians. It says one of the main reasons the rest of the world finds American politics bizarre is that often we don't understand what on earth your politicians are saying. They're very fond, for instance, of uttering this bizarre expression, which seems to have a fairly straightforward meaning, but is truly weirdly American, with its connotations of down-home farms and Avon salesmen.
Well, let's be honest. I don't understand them a lot of the times either. So.
Yeah. Number 4, break a leg. And I think that one is probably I haven't read it, but probably so confusing because that is the last thing you would possibly want someone to have happen to them at a performance, yet it's what you're supposed to say in our country. You're not supposed to say good luck.
Is that even American in origins? I thought that was like from Shakespearean times. I could be wrong though, but I know Americans say it all the time. Yeah.
Or you say, impale yourself with a trident. Yeah, break a leg. I don't get break a leg. Never did get break a leg.
Disembowel yourself with that. With
Now, I could see, don't break a leg.
Yeah, don't break a leg.
In fact, don't break anything.
Yeah.
We'll get ran over.
I mean, number 5, knock on wood. Sort of the opposite of break a leg. This expression, said and done when someone hopes something happens or continues to happen. This is common throughout the English-speaking world. Unfortunately, those learning the language can't always quite piece together what it means, with little context given to all this sudden knocking on tables and doors.
Oh, can I put some comments up here? Again, I sit and see these comments. You all can't really see them unless you're watching Facebook, but I chuckle at some of them here. So Allison says, and Allison, you're going to explain this one to me too. Spray some off. Okay. Off. Okay, capitalize off. Okay, I got yeah.
Oh, I was reading it as spray some off on you, like
that's what I was reading it.
yeah, like the opposite of on,
like
spray
one
some
scum
off.
says to the other scum.
Yeah. Go ahead, spray a little bit
says to
off.
Mossman.
Spray you off some of that.
She says her German landlord had to ask her what she meant by that. Gary, you have.
9.
Oh, Gary can see that face behind me now.
Yeah, it's got a goatee.
And he says it's changing.
No, it looks like Franklin Pierce.
Wow, it is creeping me out. I see spectacles on it now.
Yeah.
Spectacles, not glasses. Spectacles. So spectacles bring a certain picture in your mind.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Wilson, Mr. Salisbury, which was a teacher at Eastern High School, hosted a South American foreign exchange student and told her after she put her stuff away in her room, she should come downstairs and join them. An hour later, they went up to find her crying in her room because she did not know what stuff was.
Poor kid. Oh, man.
No, you mean to go ahead?
Moving on.
Yeah,
Moving on.
moving on.
Not a big fan is a term that is misunderstood sometimes. It says, I'm from the Ukraine, and I find it really strange when people say they're not a big fan of instead of saying they don't like something. And I think the idea behind that is possibly just like, why don't you just say you don't like it? Why do you need another way to say you don't like it? You know what I mean?
Or do they think fan is like a thing that blows air instead of a fanatic?
Well,
Yeah.
but I even, like, when I think of fan, I know fan is short for fanatic, but I think of sports, entertainment. So like
Yeah.
if I say, boy, I am a fan of extra sharp cheese, that just makes it sound weird that I'm like, that I just set, like, just
Sharp,
go
sharp.
yeah. extra sharp. But you know what I mean? I think maybe they look at it as a bit of embellishment or hyperbole.
Yeah.
You know, just going too much, saying too much. It's a
Too
cracker.
much, too much.
You don't have to say I'm a fan of Ritz.
Yeah, you don't want to put on the Ritz.
Number 7. By the way, do you like Ritz or Toll House better?
I don't see a difference.
Do you mean in taste? Because in shape, there's surely
Well, yeah, there's definitely a difference in shape, not in taste. They're the
Taste,
same
uh,
cracker.
shape and
Totally
hue.
different cracker than a club.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
So are Ritz and Toll House made by the same company?
Is it Townhouse or Toll House?
Townhouse, sorry.
I
Townhouse.
said Toll House. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
Townhouse.
Toll House or
cookies.
Cookies, yeah.
So Townhouse makes the club crackers, right?
Yes.
The
Club-
rectangle.
Yes, in the green box, and then
Yes.
Townhouse and Ritz are in a red box.
Ritz are in a red box. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
But are Townhouse and Ritz made by the same company?
I don't
No,
know.
Just
I think you're-
the same cracker in a different shape.
I messed that all up. What I meant was the rectangle green one in the green box
Oh.
versus the oval.
Yes.
yeah,
Because
Ritz.
the Ritz crackers are round.
That's right. Which ones are oval? Those are the Townhouse.
those
Yes.
are Townhouse. Yes,
Ritz
No,
and
I-
Townhouse taste alike.
yes, a club is not.
Right.
No.
They're
I
even a
prefer
lighter
Ritz.
hue. They're a,
Yeah,
Hue.
a lot of hue. I can feel it in my plum spread.
All right, number 7. It's not rocket science. Similar to not a big fan, it's not rocket science is a way of explaining something by. Wow, I've never put this together. Hyperbolically.
Hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic.
Yeah.
Hyper.
That's a tough. Yeah.
That's a tough word to say.
Explaining what it's not. In this
With
case,
hyperbole.
yeah. Saying something is not too difficult, but for an outsider to the U.S., it might have them asking, what do rockets have to do with anything? So again, I think they're not understanding when we bring in other words when we could just simply say it's not difficult or it's not hard.
Yeah.
So the question is then, and I'm assuming this is again, you know, they say about assuming, but like if we go to one of these other countries, they have little idiom sayings like we do that would make no sense to us in translation.
Oh, I bet.
I'm sure. Or are they just so literal? Do they just say exactly what? Is that more common in other places where if something's difficult, they say, wow, this is difficult, rather than
Coming up
or
with
not
some other way
difficult,
to
I'm
say
sorry.
it.
Yeah, not difficult. My bad. The next one, breaking a bill, like to break a bill.
Yeah.
This person
like
says that they
get
travel quite a
change.
bit, and this is one of the things they get funny looks about most often is when they ask if someone can break a bill or like break.
Somebody break a 20.
Yeah,
Yeah. Never thought about that, but yeah.
not really breaking it. I mean, there's really no breaking it down. I guess is where it comes from. Breaking down the.
Yeah.
Some person gets one of those cutters, ka-chunk cutters, like you find in the copper.
I mean, that's a term. That's a math term that we use as
Yeah.
far as. Number 9, mystery meat. Talking about spam or some unpleasant-looking meat-based dish sold in a cafeteria. I've never seen a cafeteria sell spam or treat. With seemingly unknown origins. Americans are
You
fond of
remember
this
the
term,
green hot dogs from your?
but the American phrase can also seem a bit mysterious to outsiders. Who on earth legalizes this substance? Why is it served to children? And what possibly possessed the Board of Health to let it become so common? It's so common that it's an idiom. This guy's Australian. He says Australia has its own weird kind of mystery meat called, I'm guessing, Devon, D-E-V-O-N,
I
Devon
thought you were
or
going to say Vegemite.
which is just random
Right.
parts of pork put into sausage. But at least we know it all comes from the same animal, they say.
Pork.
So I wonder if I can go to Jungle Jim's and get a can of Devon.
Probably could.
You can go to your show,
I want to drink it.
your next Vinyl Countdown
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Well,
It's spelled
or,
different.
be-
This
or
might be
better
Devon.
yet,
This
or
might be
better yet,
Devon.
go get some, and you can do a taste test on
Yeah.
the show next week.
Well, we still need to have our various canned meats taste tests. I think we
And
still
on our
have.
Japanese candies too.
Yeah.
I've got a bag full of Japanese treats.
Yeah.
We just need to do that live together.
Like Japanese treat, like spam.
dessert. We'll have.
Hey.
Okay.
We'll eat the various meats, and then we'll have the Japanese candies for treats for dessert.
The mystery meat, I really think that comes from school and military. I think because like could be pork, could be beef, could be possum. It's a mystery meat.
JTMs. Jesus, that's meat.
That's a good 4th of July reference right there.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I need somebody who's well versed in Spanish. What is the Spanish word for that? Because all I can think of is Jesus con carne. I want to know the Spanish version of Jesus that's meat. I need to know what that is.
It's con carne.
I think that's Jesus with meat.
It's been a while. It has been a while since we've had a T-shirt idea. There's a T-shirt idea.
Indeed.
like the Mexican version of Chuck E. Cheese, Carlos a queso.
Yeah. I haven't had a JTM in years.
There's a reason for that.
No, I love JT. I had no problem with JTMs. They had to be a little bit overdone. Get a little crispy around the edges.
Here we go. This is going to be a rat. This is going to be a lupine distraction of epic proportions. Man, the thing, JTM chicken and chicken nut was fine. But daggone it, those JTM burgers tasted like farm animal smells. It tasted like a farm animal smells, and I'm sticking with that description. And every time, like, gosh, this just smells like a fair barn.
You're gonna get us sued by the Mossman.
All right, number 10, fanny pack.
Okay, this segues really into a comment that I got to put up here after you get through this.
Okay, well, they
Go
just
ahead.
said that those tacky zippered packs that strap around, which, by the way, fanny packs have come back lately. They're
Yes.
making a
Back big
comeback.
time.
Along with mullets and short shorts.
Oh, yeah. Here in the UK, fanny means something vulgar, says Huffington Post reader Sonia Atkins. I found that hilarious and struggled to keep a straight face whenever any of my American colleagues used the word fanny.
What does it mean?
We
If you could use
use
them as a man.
that's what I was going to say, Brady. We think of a fanny as your rear end. The British think of your fanny as the other side,
Really?
genitalia.
Oh, of a specific gender or just anybody?
Just in general. So, like I said, that segues into this comment here. So, Allison says some words have different meanings in other countries. She says, I'll never forget the look on my aunt's face when she heard someone say they were going to knock your fanny up against the wall. My aunt was British, and that word had a completely different meaning there.
One of our friends did student teaching in England, and he never forgets the time where a third grader came up and asked him for a rubber, and that's an eraser over there.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" You know.
So fanny is the that part for both male and female?
I believe it's general genitalia, yes.
So
It's
if
not
somebody had a
fanny
vasectomy,
and-
they would need a fanny pack to reduce the swelling.
Yeah,
So it's
I don't
not
know.
fanny and manny?
I know they had mannyhose in the 70s.
Okay, so Allison says the female front region. Very well stated there. So it must be female only. So what is now I have to ask, what is the male version of a fanny?
I hope it's
In
manny.
Mandy.
John Thomas.
Manny.
A panani.
John Thomas, yes.
It's a panani.
Thought that was a sandwich.
Sandwich.
Oh, panini.
Hey, wait.
Miss Wilson, haven't you ever wondered about what's really under the gravy in Salisbury steak? Salisbury
Doesn't
steak,
that-
children.
That sounds like a great horror novel, Under the Gravy.
Of Salisbury steak. Have you ever wondered what... I can try to use my Traces of Death voice. Have you ever wondered what's under the gravy on Salisbury steak? Well, now
This
you know.
poor fellow. This poor fellow.
Have you ever wondered what's under the gravy in a Salisbury steak?
This poor soul
And now you know.
had his Manny dined on by cats for months.
Continue on.
That's just for us. People probably have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway. Number 12. Don't be such a wet blanket. That is something. That is definitely an older person thing.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of younger people say, "Stop being a wet blanket." This person says, "What's this have to do with blankets? Who looked at a particularly boring, fun-sucking person at a party, equated them to being smothered in a sodden piece of fabric?"
So, on that same note, I don't know if this is on your list or not. What about a party pooper? I believe that would take a foreigner aback. Would it not?
It would. I don't see it on my list, but
You know what the origin of that is.
I mean, I would say that it would go along with somebody saying that you, when you ruin something, you blanked all over it. You just
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
blanked on my dreams.
Right. We playing match game now?
All right, number 13. I got caught a wet. I've said this before, but I got caught a wet noodle by a substitute teacher one time when I was in elementary.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I don't know what that means. If anybody knows what a wet,
It means, like,
no, I-
you know,
he was a very he was advanced in age is the best way I would put it, and
he was a codger.
I was being perfectly behaved. I was not doing anything wrong whatsoever, if you can believe that.
That's called karma.
No, I wasn't. I was giving him a hard time, and he's like, I think he's like, "Get out in the hallway, you wet noodle." And so I went out in the hallway and wondered what a wet noodle, why I was a wet noodle for the next 20 minutes. He never
I've
did come out
heard-
and get me either. He forgot I was out there.
Now, I've heard a limp handshake being referred to as a wet noodle, but not a personage being referred to as that.
Here's one I know you like, Eric. Number 13, jump the shark.
Jump the shark,
Jump the
yes.
shark. I think in a matter of seconds you can kind of bring up what is most notorious for jumping the shark.
Yes, jumping the shark refers to the, I believe it was 1977 episode of Happy Days, where Fonzie was in California along with the rest of the Happy Days gang, and his stunt for the episode was jumping a shark on water skis, and that particular term is now referred to as slang for when a show jumps the shark, it becomes worse after that point. So people say that Happy Days jumped the shark and it became worse after that.
Yeah. I wonder if
Now,
there was a
speaking-
term. I wonder if there was a term or if there was any other show before that where something like that happened and they didn't have a term for it, or they didn't.
It cousin Olivered.
Cousin Olivered, yes. Show is Olivered.
All right, I'm going to pick it up here a little bit and just go through some of these. Yell at me if one of them strikes your fancy, tickles your fancy. There's another one. 14, long in the tooth. 15, a green thumb.
Yeah.
16, keeper.
A keeper.
Never really thought of that. Like you know, they're a keeper. Like, you know, someone you're with or something. Or
So would a foreigner think of that like an animal keeper, like a zookeeper, like
a beekeeper.
a beekeeper? Yes.
17, horseback riding.
As opposed to horse shin riding.
That's exactly what it says. Where else would you sit up on a horse to ride other than its back? So
It's kind of redundant.
yeah. 18, ate it. When somebody falls, you say they ate it.
It was Ed.
It was
It was it.
What I always wondered, though, that term, what did they eat? I mean, if you say they ate
Pavement.
the pavement,
Yes,
Yeah.
the pavement.
okay. So they just,
The
ate it
linoleum.
was short for ate the pavement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Number 19, how are you? And this is another one of those simplicity ideas. This person here is saying that it took them a while to figure out that they literally just meant hi, rather
Yeah.
than just say hi, you know. So again, I think they're thinking, why not just say hi or hello? Or nod and smile.
So did they have like this impression that they had to give a very lengthy treatise as to how they were? So yeah, my stomach's a little upset. I don't like the weather today.
I took a stool softener last night.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because this person says that they, let's see if it says where they're from. It doesn't say where they're from, but this is one Reddit user, and they said that they actually answered the question until they figured it out, and it felt very awkward.
I'm moderately neato.
What did George Carlin? He had a bit about that, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was George Carlin.
Fine.
Fine. How are you? Fine.
Man, I miss George.
Yes.
Oh.
20, period, as in like using period to emphasize something, you know, to say, I'm not going to the store and getting any more milk, period.
I will not.
schwa.
I will. Schwa. I will not hokey pokey. Period.
There you go. This sometimes makes their statement have. This is someone from outside the United States, and they're saying that it sometimes makes their statement have less of an impact, where it seems to be intended to make more of one. So it's backfiring on them, is what they're saying.
There will be no hoking the pokey. Period.
Behind the eight ball, working the graveyard shift. That's one you don't hear so much anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I've got one to throw in there, and it's a personal story. My Honduran godfather Ted, when he first became the pastor at our church, what?
Why'd you start laughing? He just-
Every time I think of Ted, I think of the pig story.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a second. But like, he when somebody said to him, "Oh, I'm just pulling your leg," and he was genuinely confused and horrified. He was like, "No, you're not. What?" Because
Stay away from my leg.
yeah.
Yeah, he did not equate teasing to pulling one's leg.
Yeah. When again, you could have just easily said teasing. I think
I'm
that's
joshing you.
I'm just joshing you. I'm a fan
Yeah,
of that.
where'd that come from? What is that?
I'm a fan of that, though.
Evidently,
Josh?
Joshua
I like
was
any-
quite the prankster.
I like any use of a first name like that when it means something else. Randy. I like. Remember the some of our
John Thomas.
the animals we talked about. That one.
Randy the Cane Toad.
Randy the Cane Toad. Yeah.
He needs to make an appearance on this program. Give love advice.
This is a different one. Canadian bacon. I never thought of this, but this person's from Canada, and they say in Canada, if I say bacon without any qualifiers, I mean those strips of pork and fat that you fry. Is that what American means by bacon? If so, then what is Canadian bacon?
Ham.
But it's not ham. It's different. It tastes different than ham.
It's cured there. It's probably in the process.
It doesn't taste like bacon either, does it? It doesn't taste like either.
Hence,
This
it's
goes-
Canadian.
Number 24 here, first base, second base. So it confuses some people not from the United States. They're not used because they're not used widely out of the United States. Do you think that's part of our obsession with sports? I'm saying it probably
Yeah.
is.
In India, in England, they get to the first wicket or the second wicket. Cricket reference.
Well,
That
You
he
say
got the
wicket?
first wicket. Wickets.
So what would a penalty shot be?
Wow.
up my alley,
Prison. But,
under the weather. Tell me about it. When a foreigner hears an American say this, they can be forgiven for assuming they are simply asking them to continue talking about what they've been talking about already. Instead, we usually say this to mean, I know what you mean. One American Redditor explains, during a normal conversation with my American friend, I told him about the weekend that I helped my friend move from San Francisco to LA, that I was so tired after a 5-hour drive. Then he said, yeah, tell me about it. So I told him how I prepared for the trip, packing and moving stuff, including driving around LA to find his new apartment.
I prefer and how.
But
And how?
I think tell me about it is the equivalent of nodding. It's you're saying, I understand. I've
Yes.
been there. I've done that.
Indeed.
All right,
So-
almost done here.
so- Let me ask about an idiom. Now, obviously, I'm not a foreigner, but one that maybe I've talked about here before. Head over heels in love. Isn't your head always over your heels unless you're like on a roller coaster or something?
Which, by the way, Eric, much like your
My heels will never be over my head.
exactly, much like your stance on the hokey pokey, your hands
No.
remains.
That's
Your
another-
stance remains.
My stance will remain solidly with my head over my heels. Personal rule.
I don't know where that came from.
Well, that's going to take some research. We'll have to dive back and find the answer to that next week, because I would love to know the answer for that.
I mean, heels over head in love would make sense. I mean, you're just kind of floating there, and you're whoo-wee, hey, I'm in love.
And use
and I'm
overhead.
I'm doing flips and somersaults and such, but head over heels doesn't really make any sense to me. Continue.
There's only 3 more on the list. There's only really one I want to dig into. Number 28 is Shoot the Breeze. 29, Monday Morning Quarterback, which again goes back to the whole idea
Right.
of them. They might even know what a quarterback is. It's not something that a sport that they watch. But number 30, Spill the Beans.
Ooh, that's one of the games we play.
Yeah, and I've often wondered about that. I don't know the
Upset.
origin of it, but how are words equated to beans, or secrets equated to beans? What's so secret about a bean? I mean, they are the magical fruit.
There's no secrets after you ate them. They're very talkative after that.
And how?
And tell me about it.
I
Go
could
on with
do
your
that.
bad
I would
self.
Just be talking out of my rear. Another.
I believe that's an equivalent, isn't it? Tell me about it. Carry on. Well, that just means continue.
Preach it.
And,
Go on with
and
your bad
hence.
self. Yeah, so I don't really know how. It doesn't say here where that came from, but obviously it sounds more like a kitchen accident or something rather than.
Kitchen accident.
And there's really no other. There's no other way I have ever heard of. There's no other way of saying that. Like, it's either telling a secret or spilling the beans. Nobody changed the food item in the bowl or anything, but nobody started
Spill the
saying,
soup.
yeah, spill the soup, dump the chili. That actually means something else.
Bean spillage does occur hours after the beans are eaten.
Yeah. Tip over the Brussels sprouts. I mean, nobody
All right.
drop
a
the
couple-
okra.
Drop the okra. All right. A couple more comments here. Miss Wilson, that's a keeper could be a fishing reference. That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
And Sarah's with us. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Better late than never. All right, good topic, Todd. Always love the conversations on the sayings, and that has been a recurring theme on this show that I always love discussing. It's always good for some hilarity.
Yes, sir. Time for
Right.
a gain.
Yeah, so first of all, speaking of isms, if you want to know what we're talking about when we use certain terms, and again, I think Todd made the comment that was just for us. We were maybe using some isms there, I don't know. But some of the terminology we use may cause not only foreigners to question what in the world are they talking about, it could also cause people from this country to wonder what we are talking about. So if you really want to know what we're talking about, I don't know if you want to be in our minds or not. That may be a dangerous place to be. But if you do want to know that, you can, again, go to our website. There it is.
We don't want you to feel like a Harish out of water.
Harish out of water, yes. Play it by ear isms, which is right there on the menu. You scroll down. And our glossary of isms, which I think we need to add ish, as Gary. And we will footnote you, Gary. I think that's a a good definition of ish. We always talk about 20-ish minutes that we talk about things, and ish is mostly beyond 20 minutes. He says 2.5 times. I don't know if it's that much, but Brady, there's lupine. I think you use lupine discursion or excursion there earlier.
Rabbit
Or
hole.
diversion for rabbit hole. Yes. So
We've used intestinal
intestinal distress,
stress.
which is right there. Euphemism for having a case.
Read it, Eric. Read it.
A euphemism for having a case of the poops, farts, or burps, usually, usually accompanied by a foul stench or report.
Read the sentence. Use it in a sentence, please.
After eating the last hot dog left at the gas station at 3 a.m., Wilhelm suffered an intense episode of intestinal distress.
Which would explain the Wilhelm scream.
Indeed. Klaus and Wilhelm, yes.
Once again, a nod to George Carlin.
Yes, George Carlin. That would be a backward head nod to George Carlin.
Gosh, I'm going to feel self-conscious about that for a week, whether I do this
Yeah,
or
you'll
that.
catch yourself mid nod and be like,
And end up
"Wait,
doing
not at
this.
all."
So you'll be thinking, should that have been a frontward nod or a backward nod? Because they vocalize different things. All right. So to topic 3, which is our weekly game, and today's game is called That's It. That's it. That's it. Right there. That's it. So the object of the game, we will have a timer. Said timer being right there. And I will, of course, keep you apprised of the time. And very simply, this is kind of like the old game show Password. So I will give you like a definition. And we'll do one here as a example. A type of entertainer on a cruise ship. So when I give the scenario or the definition, I'll turn the timer over and our co-host will start shouting answers. One word is the correct word, the password, so to speak, and whoever says the password first gets the point. So that's how the game works, very simple.
Singer.
Go. Lounge singer.
No.
Cabaret.
Magician.
Magician is correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
Alright, so Todd with the magician is correct. And I don't think I can...
By the way, I'm on a
probably-
losing streak here. I got a lot to prove this week.
You are on a losing streak.
I need my moho back.
All right.
Horizon.
Let me see. I'm going to have to do something different with the timer here. So I don't think I can use the sand because then the sand has to run back out, and that can take some time. So I'll just kind of keep an eye on our 20-minute timer, and I'll give you 30
minute?
seconds.
Oh,
No. I'll give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right. Okay, gentlemen, schmentlemen. And, by the way, Johnny Whitney with us.
A juggler.
His answer was juggler, or juggler.
Close, Johnny.
Yes, close. Very close. All right.
I guess a
So,
magician could juggle as part of his act. His or her
could
act.
indeed. Could
Was
indeed.
that ever entertainment anyway, but I digress. I can not
Oh.
drop things creatively.
All right, gentlemen, schmentlemen. Here is the word that we're looking for, or the definition, scenario, whatever you want to call it.
Now, hey, Eric, I want to ask you one thing. Are
Yes.
you going to answer? Are you going to say like go or like?
I will say, after I say go, yes, you can start to answer. So
Okay.
I'll give you the scenario, say go, then you can start. All right, gentlemen. A reason why kids might wake up their parents. Go.
Nightmare.
Go to the bathroom.
Nightmare. Right off the bat, nightmare. Correct.
Would somebody in a non-baseball country know what right off the bat means?
Probably not.
Lying mammal.
So, Brady, your moho is no go right now. 1-0 Todd.
Oh no.
Moho, oh no. Alright. Something that is best done using both hands. Go.
Driving.
Driving.
Brady! With the answer, yes.
Brady. I want to protest. I said the exact same thing at the exact same time.
No, you didn't say it at the same time. I heard Brady first. And I am the judge.
Yeah.
Here come the judge. Here come the judge. Alright. Okay, gentlemen. An animal with whiskers. Go.
Cat. Dog.
No. No.
Fox.
No.
Seal.
No.
The hell.
Rabbit.
No.
Squirrel.
No.
Chipmunk.
Chipmunk.
No.
Wolverine.
Dog.
No. No.
Groundhog.
No.
Horse. Lion.
Skunk.
Tiger.
Oh.
Hopeless.
Catfish.
Porcupine.
Catfish.
No.
Oh. Catfish.
What else?
Deer.
No. Deer.
Camel.
30 seconds is up.
whiskers?
30 seconds is up.
Angelfish.
30 seconds is up.
What is it?
Angelfish.
Angelfish.
Not a husker or what? A husker fish or whatever.
A Husker-doo. A Husker-doo.
Whistling bungholes.
Walrus.
Oh,
Walrus.
cuckoo-ca-choo.
Cuckoo. Johnny Whitney said weasel, not weasel, and Miss Wilson with man
Nice.
was her guess. That was a nice guess.
Well, the one coach is the walrus.
Yeah,
The
Andy Reid.
walleye.
Or Stafford, the pro golfer. That looked
Yeah,
like,
Craig Stadler.
Yeah, looked like a young Wilford Brimley.
All right, gentlemen, a place where you might see. Hold on. Either one of you got a point there. So
No.
we're still at 1-1. A place where you might see stars. Go.
Sky.
Observatory.
I jumped
No.
out.
Museum.
No.
The ocean.
Hollywood.
Hollywood, Todd. With the answer.
Too literal for me.
All right, so Todd, 2-1.
I wouldn't be a very good drag racer. I'm jumping the gun, but so far my
No,
answer
that-
hasn't been right.
You don't have to take turns.
No, I meant like I've answered right before you said go each
Oh.
time, but it was the
Right.
wrong answer, so it didn't matter.
Gotcha. All right, so 2-1, Todd. Next word, scenario, definition. Something that makes people sneeze. Go.
Hey,
Dust.
No.
straw.
No.
Flowers.
Germs.
No. Pollen, Brady.
Nice.
This is nip and tuck here. 2-2.
Tip and nuck.
Tip and nip.
The Tiggle Gain.
All right. All right. A body part that often gets broken. Go.
Hand.
Fingers. Toes.
Finger, Brady. Finger. Yeah.
What?
3-2. Brady. All right. A place where you must first pass through a turnstile. Go.
Airport.
Baseball game.
No. No.
Football game.
Concert.
No.
Amusement
Stadium.
No.
park. Airport.
Ride. King's Island.
No.
Amusement park.
Subway.
Right. Roller coaster.
Subway. Subway, Brady.
Nice. It's a ride.
It is a ride.
Pulling away, Brady. Pulling away. And your
Yes.
mojo's back.
4-2.
Oh. Oh,
All right, gentlemen. Something you shake before using. Go.
Ketchup.
No.
Glow
Mustard.
stick.
No.
Salt. Pepper.
No.
Pepper.
No.
No. Spray paint.
Shaving cream.
Paint. Spray paint.
No. No.
Paint. Lotion.
No. No.
And big.
Pudding.
Oh man. Biscuits.
No. 5 seconds.
Orange juice. Apple milk.
Time. Thermometer.
Oh,
Thermometer.
that's outdated. In this digital age.
All right.
They're funnier when we don't get the right answers. That seems to be
that's true.
the.
What, Todd? Do you guys remember? I put there was an accident on Puddin' Sack Road or Puddin' Bag Road. I was
Something
cracking
like
up.
Yeah. Why would you shake
Sack or
pudding?
Bag?
Why would you shake pudding before using it?
Shake a pudding. Shake a pudding. There's a
What?
brand where you just added the
No.
milk and you shook it.
No. Never
Oh,
heard of
shake
such a
pudding.
thing.
It would be called shookin' pudding then, not
Yeah.
shake. What is it? Shakin' pudding?
Eric,
Shook
you never
and
heard of it
pudding.
either?
My mom made shake and bake and I helped.
Shookin' pudding sounds like it's somewhere in Michigan. Shookin' pudding, Michigan.
Shook it, book. I want you guys. I want you guys to look up. Oh no, I'll take care of it. I will look it up on my phone and show you the package. We continue on.
Please don't show me your package on the phone.
Yeah, no packages. Please. All right, Johnny guessing Menards. And biscuits.
Yeah, you got to shake the biscuits before you pop open the can, or it'll explode all over you.
Sound like a big explosion.
All right, here we go.
Ah, yes, Miss Wilson. I'm surprised no one said moneymaker. There's an
go.
idiom for you. That would cause foreigners all kinds of distress too. Moneymaker. Okay, gentlemen, a 2-word U.S. capital. Go.
Little Rock,
No.
Man,
Carson City,
No.
Des
I'm
Moines.
drawing a blank.
Des Moines.
Drawing-
Brady.
way.
Wow.
Des Moines.
I was not ready for a geography question at all. That came out of nowhere.
All
my
right.
goodness.
5-2, Brady. An event where you might cry. Go.
Funeral.
Wedding.
Wedding, Brady.
I went with the obvious.
Shake a pudding.
Wow, I think that would.
Never heard of it.
I stand corrected.
What?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
I like some pudding, but I don't know that I'd put it in that thing and shake it. So you put
Okay.
milk in it and shook the pudding with the milk? What did you come up with? What was the end result?
Mint.
It was powder inside of it. So you would add the milk.
Basically instant pudding.
Yeah,
But then
it's
the pudding would be
instant
all over the edges of the cup, and inside you'd have to
Well,
scrape it out.
It was basically like where you mix drinks, where it was sealed, and you would put it in, snap the lid back on, and shake it, and then it would become its plasmatic state instead of just
All right.
It didn't have skin on it. I didn't want it.
pudding Skinner.
Gotta have pudding skin.
I got very distressed when I was a kid by the pudding skin.
Oh yeah.
Because it didn't have skin on it in the commercials.
No.
I love pudding skin.
The pudding's not supposed to have skin.
When it's hot, it does. When it's warm, when it's freshly made out of the kettle,
But when you didn't know that, when it
It's
had
a
that
sheen
skin
over it.
on it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I disposed of the skin.
Nothing like the gravy skin at the school cafeteria.
well, now gravy skin's a whole different story.
Conscom.
Oh, that reminds me of the. You remember the gravy that looked like a hockey puck? It was gelatinous hockey puck with the mashed potatoes around it.
Yeah,
Oh, that was awful.
It was gelatinous.
Was it Frozen?
No.
No.
It was just slimy.
It was Jello
hard.
gravy. Jello gravy puck.
So, Eric, you mean to tell me that
Good
you will
band name.
eat meringue, but you won't eat pudding skin?
No pudding. Those are different.
He's removing the epidermis before he dines.
All right, let's get back to the game that I'm getting destroyed.
Meringue does not have the consistency of pudding skin. All right. A type of boat without an engine. Go.
Sailboat.
No.
Canoe.
Paddle boat.
Canoe. Todd is back on the board.
I thought you said boot. I was confused.
Boot.
That's
When
my
he said
that's my
sailboat,
trick.
he's
I'm
like,
gonna
oh.
not speak. I'm gonna not enunciate. So then I throw you off, and you wonder what I say.
All right, a country known for its ancient ruins. Go.
Egypt.
Greece.
Egypt. Brady. Quick on the draw.
Nice.
7-3. All right, a fruit that is about as big as your head. Go.
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
Oh.
Todd. Quickly. With the answer.
Cantaloupe.
It was what was
Cantaloupe.
really weird is the fruit in my head that I was bound to determine I was going to say was banana, and at the last second I didn't because that would have been the weirdest answer.
Banana as big as your head.
Nobody with a banana-shaped head.
All right, gentlemen, an Olympic event in honor of the Olympics coming up here in a few weeks. An Olympic event that is timed to the microsecond. Go.
Swimming.
100-meter dash.
Swimming. Todd with the answer. Roaring back into the game now 7-5
Running.
is our score. All right, very simply, gentlemen, the next one is a shape. Go.
Square. Circle.
No.
Triangle.
No.
Rectangle.
No.
Trapezoid.
No.
Diamond.
Star.
Heart.
No. No.
Shamrock.
The parallelogram. Rhombus.
No.
Oh, crap.
A French wave.
I got the game perfection in my head, and I just can't.
Diamond, square,
We already said
circle, oval,
cube.
No.
Cylinder.
prism,
No.
hexagon,
No.
octagon.
Octagon. Finally, Brady with the answer.
I was gonna go up so I could say dodecagon.
That would have been the best answer.
I always thought that'd be a great band name, Dodecapus, and have a 12 tentacled creature.
All right. Gentlemen, something that is found in almost every room of a house. Go.
Window.
Window. Window. Top of the answer. 8-6 is our score. Something that is or can be fried. Go.
Bacon.
Chicken,
Ham.
No.
Turkey.
No.
eggs,
Meat.
Eggs. Brady, eggs. Makes it
I
nice.
went with the ever popular turkey. Turkey is not something you think of as being fried very often.
No, that
Man,
is
I
a
saw that on
fairly
Channel
recent
12,
phenomenon, though.
I saw that on Channel 12 during Thanksgiving. There was a deep frying station. Daggone, I've wanted it nightly since. It looked delicious.
All right, gentlemen, a pet that you probably would not take for a walk. Go.
Snake.
Fish,
No.
Spider.
No.
Tarantula.
Iguana.
No. No.
hamster,
Bird. Todd.
bird,
Bird. Pipsqueak.
bird, lovable, the adorable,
Pipsqueak.
bird.
All right. A type of chip. Go.
Potato.
Potato,
No. Poker.
I was so confident in potato that I never even had a second answer in my head, Brady. Nice job.
potato,
Cow.
That's
That's what I was.
bull,
10-7.
buffalo,
Johnny got the octagon right.
Nice.
All right. A fruit that a bartender uses. Go.
Orange.
Lime.
Lime.
No. Lime. Who said lime? Todd?
We both said it, kind of.
I think we simultaneously
Yeah.
said it.
Throw it out, or
Alright.
give us both a
Throw it
point
out.
one.
Yeah, throw it out.
We'll,
Throw it
we'll,
out.
we'll throw it out. Okay. Something that you pop. Go.
Zit.
Bubble wrap. Corn.
No. No.
Your
Corn.
fingers.
Cotton.
Pea. Pack.
No.
Weasel. Jack in the Box.
No.
Pop.
Bubble wrap.
No.
A top. A
Clutch.
pop lid. A cap.
No. No.
Corn.
No.
What? Oh.
Corn.
A squat.
Squat. 5 seconds.
Pop. A weasel. I said a weasel.
Wheelie.
No.
Oh.
Time. Oh, you're gonna slap yourselves. A balloon. A balloon. Yeah.
Here's a burn.
All right.
Stressful.
A soup that begins with cream of. Go.
Cream of wheat.
Mushroom.
No.
Chicken. Celery.
Celery. Celery.
Cream of chicken.
Brady. Celery. Wheat.
Come on, guy. And a nod
My
to
next
Joe
trick is
Bond.
just to say something
Come on, guy.
completely. Oh my gosh.
12-7.
Cream of wheat soup. That's the
Cream of wheat.
good stuff.
Barley.
All right. Hey. A fairy tale animal. Go.
A donkey.
No. No.
You mean
Horse.
Goofy.
Unicorn.
No.
Pluto.
No. No.
Dragon.
No.
A mouse.
No.
A wolf.
Wolf. Todd with wolf.
I didn't know if we were supposed to name the name or the type of animal.
Yeah.
I guess however you take it.
Barf.
Gary says cream of wheat is a type of chili, I believe.
Chili soup.
Yeah. Some menus have it as chili soup, which I think is redundant.
We've talked about that before. We don't know the
Wiener
difference.
Sandwich.
See,
Yeah.
didn't we? Somebody chimed in last time when we talked.
Someone
about
said
that.
there's a difference? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
they said it's wetter. It's like chili soup has more water, and chili is more tacky. It's more. You know what I mean? It's more.
Anybody who
firm.
says chili soup is the people that say wiener sandwich and codfish.
All right. Gentlemen, something you spray out of a can. Go.
Paint.
Deodorant.
Paint. Paint.
Interesting. Tried that on another answer.
You did. Which
Yeah.
was wrong.
I just keep yelling. Cream of wheat is going to be an answer here.
12-9. Something with a long neck. Go.
Giraffe.
No.
Mongoose. Or
No.
a snake.
No.
Camel.
Snake.
Horse.
No.
Donkey.
No.
Grasshopper.
A prairie dog.
No.
A meerkat.
No.
A lizard. A snail.
5
a
seconds.
sheep.
A person.
A llama. Alpaca.
Yeah.
Eh. A bottle.
A what?
A bottle.
Oh, good God.
Gary said ferret. That's a good guess. All right. So we reach the end of our 20 minutes. We need to have a bet here. So
We doing a bet or we going to 15?
we can go to 15. Let's go to 15 and we'll...
Call it.
We'll do the
Yeah.
bet. Then we'll do the bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we need to have a bet, Brady.
No.
Gotta have a bet.
Skill.
Oh, Brady.
Come
No trick
on.
shot. Okay.
Gotta have a bet.
Okay.
Gotta put some strategy in this.
Nah. Ha.
All right. An instant, in quotes, instant food. Go.
Soup.
Pudding.
No. Pudding. Pudding. How about
If
that?
it was cream of wheat, I would have flipped.
That would have been great had it been cream of wheat.
I think this episode set the all-time pudding reference record.
All right, 13-9.
Oh no.
A job where you might get wet. Go.
Lifeguard.
Lifeguard.
Man.
Quick on the draw. 14-9. So we're 1 point away from the bet. Gary threw the cream of wheat out there for instance. Something found in a refrigerator door. Go.
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
Mustard.
No.
Pickles. Mayonnaise.
Pickles. Todd. Pickles.
Yeah.
Keeps himself alive. 14-10.
Keep yourself alive.
Hey. Alright. Here we go into the, this is going to take some knowledge. A human muscle. Go.
Pectoral.
No.
Bicep.
Deltoid.
Triceps. Brady. Triceps.
All right, say diaphragm.
Diaphragm, yes. Okay, so we have reached our 15-point threshold.
Jejunum.
15-10. We need a bet. You must bet at least half of your points on this final question. Currently, again, the score 15-10.
Okay, got it. Got my number.
Okay. Gentlemen, our answer. A good food to throw in a food fight. Go.
Tomato.
No.
Apple.
Pudding.
Hey,
No.
bologna.
Mashed potatoes.
No.
Banana. Egg.
No.
Ham. Lettuce.
Turkey.
No.
Fruit salad.
No.
Pear.
Gravy.
Pineapple.
No.
Grapes.
No.
Grapes.
Hamburger. Hot dog.
No.
Croutons.
Ketchup,
No.
Marshmallows.
Shoot.
Pie.
Olives.
Um,
Olives.
No.
Apple
No.
Bacon.
No.
Bread.
Um,
Pizza. Pepperoni.
No.
Cheese.
No.
Peanut butter.
Gosh.
No.
Crackers.
No.
Vegetables.
Cookies.
Tomatoes.
No.
Tomatoes.
Jelly.
No.
Relish. Pineapple.
Okra.
Mayonnaise.
No.
Ranch.
No.
Cream of wheat.
Pretzels. Pudding. You already said
No.
that?
Soup. Chili.
Soup. Yeah. Cereal.
No.
Yeah. Ferret.
Pickles.
No.
Sausage.
Cabbage.
No.
Good lord.
Ham salad.
We went beyond our 30 seconds. I'm waiting for someone to get
Chicken
the
salad.
answer.
Chicken salad.
No.
Dumplings.
Potato salad.
No.
Dumpling. Noodles.
No.
Rice.
Mushrooms.
No.
Fish. Sardines.
No. All right, I'm calling time on this. We're going to do another question. We're going to do another question.
Literally said every food
Answer.
there is.
No, apparently you didn't. Spaghetti.
Oh.
All right. A bird of prey. Go.
Eagle. Hawk.
No. No.
Chicken.
Hawk. Eagle.
No.
Falcon.
Falcon.
Buzzard.
Brady. Falcon.
He was even freezing up and he got it.
Brady, what did you bet?
8.
8.
What are you laughing at? My hand
You were kind of frozen there.
You're behind.
Oh.
Yeah. Todd, what'd you bet?
I bet it all,
10.
man.
Bet it all. He bet it all. And he comes up short. So our final score, Brady 23, Todd nothing.
Well, that looks a lot worse than what it was, now doesn't it?
It does indeed. All right.
Fun game.
That was a fun game.
It was garbage runs. Garbage time. Fun game.
Still lagging.
Yeah, a little lag. All right, so that was episode 64 of the Play By Ear podcast. Kind of an American theme there with Independence.
Freeze up.
You are starting to freeze up. Kind of an American theme here in this show due to Independence Day being on Sunday. So we wish you a happy Independence Day for all those little gatherings you may have. I don't know if we have any fireworks around here close by, but you might set off some of your own maybe or whatever. But we wish you a very happy Independence Day. And,
What is Brady doing right now?
I don't know. He is frozen.
He's doing that weird smile like he did at the beginning of the episode.
He's like the end screen of a 70s sitcom. And he was stuck
On purpose.
in mid laughter. All right, like I said, have a good Independence Day. We do want to remind you. Have a good Independence Day. Remind you that the audio version of this show will be out on Friday at 3 a.m. As always, you can find it on most of any platform that you would find an audio podcast on. Also, the video version will be archived on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Any of those outlets you can find our video version. Excuse me, I think I said audio. But any of those things are, again, archived on those platforms. And if you want to see our links to our various platforms, you can go to our website, www.playbyyourpodcast.com. And again, that rounds out episode 64. Don't know what day we'll be on next week. We haven't really talked about that. But again, we'll send out invites and let you know via our social media platforms. So keep an eye out. And we appreciate you all being here. Anything for the good of the order, gentlemen?
Peace, peace. Everybody be safe this weekend.
God bless America.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.